I encourage you to always be curious, always seek out things you love, and always work hard once you find them.
What's going on, everybody? I hope you guys are doing good, through all the madness, depending on what state you guys are watching this from. How are you guys dealing with the lockdown? Because it's been crazier and crazier every single day. Anyways, today we're going to be taking a look at who I consider to be the future of the NBA. This guy I have kept my eye on since his rookie year as a Laker, who many people called a bust way too early in his career. Yes, I'm speaking about who some may refer to as Slender Man, Brandon Ingram. Now, there's no question Ingram had a much improved season this year, playing for the first time with the Pelicans after being traded from the Lakers. Ingram showed he has a future in the league, but not only that, for those who seriously watch him, you saw how lethal in scoring he can be, and if he keeps improving the way he has been, I believe Ingram will not only be a great player, but definitely could be universally recognized as one of, if not the best player in the world at some point, or even the best scorer. Now, enough talking, let's get right into this. Now, if you look it up on Google, it'll tell you he's 6'7", but if you want to use common sense and use your eyes, he is actually roughly close to 7 feet, approximately 6'10", maybe even 6'11", one of the lengthiest players in the NBA, as well as one of the lightest players for his size too. He has had many comparisons to Kevin Durant, and rightfully so. I mean, Kevin Durant has even stated that playing against him was like looking into a mirror. Ingram has a unique body with plenty of room to grow. Because he is so skinny and light, he has to work that much harder to get around or through defenders. He's only 22 years old, by the way. I'm going to repeat that just one more time. He is only 22 years old. He will and is getting that muscle in at some point as he grows. The game will be so much easier for him due to him already having to work that much harder because of how light and frail he is. If he's doing what he's doing now, averaging 24 points, 6.5 rebounds, when he gets that muscle slowly come in along with his development every year, those numbers will definitely go up. One of the biggest problems with some tall, muscular players is they rely too heavily on just out-muscling and bullying their opponent, in which sometimes it works in our favors, but Ingram was able to build a skill set before his body developed, and his body still isn't developed to its full potential, which is scary to think about. Ingram coming into the NBA frail and skinny will work out in his favor at the end, as it forced him, as we saw this year, to build a skill set that allowed him to average 24 points as a 22-year-old in the NBA, which is impressive itself. Now I want to take you guys back to the age aspect for this for a second. Ingram is 22 years old, very, very young, almost a baby in the NBA. There are guys coming in from college who are 22 years old, and Ingram has already played 4 full seasons in the NBA, just to put that into perspective. In fact, just a couple years ago, we considered his peers to be guys like Kyle Kuzma, who was his own teammate, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, Ben Simmons, just guys who were almost similar in age who we thought had a high ceiling. And in fact, there was a time I remember where a lot of people was calling him a bust, who considered all of these guys in front of Ingram. Well, let's compare Ingram to these guys for a second. Ingram is 22 years old with 4 full seasons already under his belt, going into his 5th year, averaging 24 points. Mitchell is 23 years old with 3 seasons under his belt. Kyle Kuzma is 24 with 3 seasons under his belt. Ben Simmons is 23, almost 24 with 3 seasons under his belt. And Jason Tatum, who is the closest to Ingram, is also 22 years old, but 3 seasons under his belt. So to put this all into retro perspective, those guys who are perceived to be his peers, Ingram is younger than all of them by 1 or some 2 full years, except for Tatum. However, he has more experience in terms of years played over all of them. After looking at Ingram's season this year, you can make an argument he is actually better than Mitchell or Tatum or Simmons, definitely better than Kuzma, and I wish the Lakers kept him instead. And if you don't want to conceive that Ingram's not better than these guys, then you can't deny the fact that by the time he hits their ages, he'll be better, which is what matters the most, your age. Your age is what defines your peers. So for us to compare Ingram to most of these guys, excluding Tatum, is a good thing for Ingram. It means that the guys that are older than you, even though you're not universally recognized as better than most of these guys, even though I believe he is, you still have more experience under your belt, and by the time you hit their ages, you'll be better, if not significantly better at that point. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the closest thing to Kevin Durant is Brandon Ingram. And we have known this since the second he came into the NBA, as they almost mirror each other. Now, there are a lot of young guys who we can compare them to as NBA legends. Like some people consider Zion to be LeBron for some reason. I don't see it. Ben Simmons to Magic, Booker, or even Tatum to Kobe, Kawhi to a combination of Pippen and Jordan, and the list goes on. After watching Ingram this season, I believe he is the closest to reaching the NBA legend in terms of mirroring them. Ingram showed the world this season he can be lethal from anywhere on the court, now adding the deep ball this year to his game, hitting those from 33% last year to 39% this season. He showed he can put the ball on the floor, he can score on you, he can find ways to score off the ball, he can post up, turn around, fade away, cross you up, he can shoot over you, and if he needs to, he can take you to the rim and finish. Kevin Durant is probably the biggest offensive juggernaut in NBA history because of his ability to score from anywhere on the floor without being stopped. His height and frame being a big reason for that. Now, while Ingram is nowhere near a finished product or a polished final project, there is no question I believe he can one day mimic Kevin Durant to a certain degree and have multiple seasons averaging 30 points a game and be recognized as the best scorer or maybe the best player in the NBA. Still only 22 years old with more experience than other 22 years olds, and some 23-year-olds coming off an all-star performance and most likely win most improved player. Ingram's ceiling is still unknown as is that high up, and his development process will be much more complete as he will have that grown man body to go along with the Kevin Durant-like skill set he's polishing right now as we speak. The game will be much easier as his career continues. In the comments, let me know what you guys think about this. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys later.